So AI, artificial intelligence, it seems to be everywhere at the moment, whether it's AI copywriting, chat GPT, and even images that can be produced just from a few lines of text. So that got me wondering, is this tool clever or intelligent enough to produce website designs for us? And actually what I found was pretty damn impressive. I come across a tool this week called Midjourney, which allows us to produce images via prompts just by putting in a few lines of text or keywords, and it will go off and it will produce an image for you based on what you wanted. And one thing I quickly discovered is this tool is so good, it can create some really, really insane images. Things like architecture and scenery based on specific art styles. A masked man riding a horse through the streets in a storm, a World War I soldier in a trench, even cats playing basketball, or a super realistic looking Hulk. Alright, so I think we can agree that the detail on these images are insane. Now, I know you guys watching are always looking for a better, efficient, faster way of doing things. So I wanted to see how well this tool can help us with our web design process. And off the back of that, what I was able to do was produce over 40 individual website designs in just around 20 minutes, which means that you're able to produce visual mockups or website inspiration in a matter of minutes. And to be honest, with the results that I've seen, and I'm going to show you them in a minute, there definitely is, I think, a place for AI, and it's only going to get better. So let's have a look at these designs. So first of all, I just simply asked it for a coffee barista style website design, and this is what I came back with. And to be honest, you can see that we've kind of got a mock-up render with a coffee and a coffee website in the background, and the website actually itself looks quite impressive. And then over here we've got a more conventional style design with our hero, with our header, our text, and our navigation at the top. This one slightly different, not sure if I'm a fan, but definitely interesting. And then this one here again is very different, but still very, very impressive for AI or artificial intelligence to be able to go away and pull this together for us. Okay, so next I simply asked it to produce a bicycle website, or more specifically an electric bike website, and this is what it produced. And already just visually they look insane. They're very, very attractive looking sites in my opinion. Now looking at this a little bit further, I really liked this one here on the left. And so we've got a very, very nice hero image. We've got your title, text, and button. Now there is no way of real strong navigation at the top, but there's definitely room to have a nav at the top. And then further down, we've got some text and we've got some image on the right, which as a composition and a layout, I think works really, really well. And you can take this and you can further that and develop it into your own design. Okay, so very, very good inspiration. Again, over on the right, I really, really like this. I really like the imagery. I like the color palette. I like the layout where you could have your logo up at the top or over on the left. We've got some links. Now, one thing you'll notice is the text is gibberish. Okay, text doesn't make sense. It's not English. I don't even know if it's another language. And you can't really read anything. You can't really make up the icons. But what you can do, what you can appreciate is it's trying to put specific elements on a page and follow design conventions. And actually, we'll get into this more in a minute, but I feel like it's breaking convention, and it makes you question, whether those conventions are on their way, whether this is ahead of the curve, who knows? But what I've seen so far is great. So yeah, I really like this design too. It has a hero section with some text and some points in which you could probably hover, and then we've got more images and text supported underneath. Okay, so next I asked for a space rocket website design, and this is what I got. So imagery again is insane. I really, really like the images that we've got here, and we've got standard convention where you've got your title, subtitle, text, and even another block of text underneath, and that could potentially be your call to action. And we've got another rocket here, another large image with your text on the left hand side. Now this text is coming out of the box. I don't know whether that's intentional, but still it's a design nonetheless. And then we've got one down here and another one here. Now I really like this one because imagery is awesome, but also it kind of breaks the convention where you have the text over on the left hand side and it's positioned over on the right. And with this particular image, it works really, really well. Now there is no navigation, but that doesn't mean to say that you couldn't put your own navigation in and your own logo. And we've got some icons down here as well. So depending on what type of website you were looking to produce, you have an opportunity here to include text and include icons, and know that visually it's going to look okay. And then over on the left, we've got more of a standard convention, as I've already mentioned in the previous screen. But you can see here, we've got space for a logo, you've got navigation, we've got potentially some call to actions over on the right, and it's just an insane insane image. Okay. All right. So next I asked to create a Mario Kart style website landing page. All right. And this is what I produced, which is awesome. Like, look how colorful these are. We've got cool imagery. I mean, that one it's questionable. It doesn't look like Mario to me, but hey. And we've got standard nav bar. We've got 2 sets of navigation here, so you can split it from either end of the screen. And then we've got some call to actions or some blocks of text underneath. Standard conventions here with the nav bar, text down in the bottom left. There's something here that could potentially be carousel bars. We don't know. But again, opportunity for you to go ahead and produce your own design from this. And yeah, that's that. So it does a really good job of taking standard web design conventions of a hero image, your text over on the left hand side, and then it actually includes additional elements to fill the space down at the bottom, just so it's less boring, you could say. So that's that. And then next I asked it to produce me a luxury supercar website, and this is what I brought back. So you can see these are all quite dark, so in terms of style they're relatively similar, but again, insane looking website designs, and the photography and the images it is able to produce and bring back is blowing my mind. So yeah, standard convention, we've got a split screen here of hero, and then we go down into some content down here, and we've got a very, very nice image here, more simplistic, focusing purely on the imagery. And then this one's nice, and this one I really liked as well. It kind of looks more in line with the type of websites that I would personally produce. It's simple, but it has, you know, some horizontal diagonal line to separate the page. Okay, so looking at this a little bit further, you can see that we've got a logo up in the middle, we've got some navigation up on the left, and then some navigation or calls to action. Maybe it's an email address and a phone number over on the right. You've got your title, it's all center aligned with a button, and then your images underneath. And then you can slightly see down the bottom here that it's breaking out into some more content. And then over on the right, we've got that design that said falls in line with the type of things that I like. And I really like that it's got the text that's center aligned, it's got the color break, it's got the imagery that's kind of bringing in the leaves, and there's kind of like a greeny blue color scheme on this, and it's just carrying that through. So again, amazing. Now, so next I asked for a sofa and chair style website. Okay, the reason why I asked for this is we are doing a website at the moment for a sofa and chair company, and I was just curious. I was just curious to see how it compared to what we were putting together, and actually what it produced visually, as you can see, looks great. Okay, in terms of how it compares to what we're doing at the moment, slightly different, but it gives us another perspective, which is what, you know, all we can ask for, especially if you're doing a project and your customer's not happy with what you've done. You can use AI like this, and you can pull together some other visual mock-ups, visual compositions, and there's kind of like no limit to what you can do. As long as you can put in the right keywords or search terms, like most of the time, as long as you put in the right keywords in, it will produce what you are looking for. So yeah, very, very nice imagery. Weirdly, a lot of green. Like, I didn't specifically ask for green as well, but it's kind of made that assumption. Got hero sections, we've got standard website conventions, navigation. So yeah, you can see that the photography is carrying these designs quite heavily, but photography is important in web design, as we know. Okay, so next I asked it to produce a sunglasses website, and this is what it produced. Like, very, very colorful. Standard conventions here, where you got your logo, your text. Now this is just a photo, and to be honest, I think this one is relatively basic if you compare it to some of the others that it's produced. Same with this, it's relatively basic. It's just focusing on an image, but down the bottom is quite nice the way we've got the 2 sunglasses together. This one's got a lot more going on, where you have your hero image, you have your logo, you have your navigation, then you have other sunglasses on the page as well. So it's a very, very good use of space, and then it breaks out into another large image underneath. And then over on the right, we've got an image with blocks of text. So as a composition and a layout, I think that's really nice and it's really interesting. Now, based on AI alone, you'd have to do some work to that and make it look even better, but it's pretty damn good. And then we've got a much more colorful option here, which is it's a crazy image, and the glasses they're so big, and yeah, fair play. I think that's definitely an interesting, quirky design. But we've got elements over on the right as well, down in the bottom. All space is being filled, which I think is really, really important. I mean, white space and negative space is important. Don't clutter it, but I think this is definitely making a good use of space. Okay, so next I asked for website designs for cupcakes. Okay, and this is what I produced. And I think personally, aside from the images, which look really, really good, the sort of layout and the designs themselves I think are less impressive. They feel a lot more basic to me, but there's no reason why you couldn't use this as inspiration, or even go as far to ask for additional designs from the AI and see what else it brings out. But yeah, that was Cake Websites. Then I asked for a marketing agency website design, and this is what I come back with. Now you can see that we've got markups here. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. It's like a website that's laid on top of a computer really badly. We've got this one over here, which is very yellow, vibrant, difficult to read. So I'm being real specific and picky here, but you know, there's still a lot of potential. Yeah, this one's quite interesting, nice image, content underneath, and then this one is, I feel like it's very stock photography-esque, that one, but still lots of different options that it is bringing back. Next, I asked it to produce an anime style website design, and this is what I come back with, and I love them. I think they're really, really cool. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of anime. I just knew that it was likely going to produce some really interesting images. And it didn't disappoint. Okay, we've got a standard convention here, but what's interesting is the use of images and text over on the left hand side while the main hero image features on the right. That's super interesting. Not something that I would think about doing, but as you can see, it kind of works in this sort of layout. And then down here we've got a similar thing where we have our hero image on the right, and then we actually have content in a block, which I think that works really, really well. Okay, you've got the image filling the space, and then you just have a small section of that screen on load that loads specific content. Okay, we've got up here standard design convention, and this one again very interesting. I'm seeing a lot of sites here based on this AI that's putting the content over on the right hand side, and it does work. I definitely think that it works, you know, so that's to me definitely interesting. It makes me wonder whether, you know, in a year or 2 years time, whether the convention will be to put the text over on the right hand side rather than the left hand side, despite people reading in the UK and most of the world from left to right. It definitely could be something where you were finding our content blocks over on the right hand side. So yeah, making these ones a little bit bigger, you can see the content's over on the right hand side, and it does follow conventions. We've got nav items up at the top, maybe a search bar. Okay, so there is a little bit of like UI, UX app design maybe going on here, not so much mobile app, but desktop app. And then over on the right hand side, we've got search bar, nav items, logo, large image, text filling the space, images underneath, and then what looks like a footer. So it gives you, it's kind of like a visual wireframe. All of these appear to be visual wireframes. Okay, so I have just deep dived and showed you 40 website designs that were produced in around 20 minutes, which is insane. And you can see there's a hell of a lot of potential here. The images that it's producing, the mock-ups, there's a lot of potential here. Like the images that it's producing, the compositions, the layouts, okay? It really gets you thinking, like it gives you a lot of options. If you're stuck producing a design for your client and you need some inspiration, definitely recommend going to check out AI. And I do think that this could change the way that we produce websites in the future. So I hope you found that video useful. I'm definitely going to explore AI a little bit more, maybe go as far to use it in my workflow and see what I end up producing at the end. But if you did find that valuable, please do give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments whether you've started looking at AI yet. If you want to go check out the tool that I've been using, it is called Midjourney. I'm not affiliated with them, just go and check it out. It's on a Discord channel. Google them, add yourself to the beta and start playing around. So there's an end screen coming up with more valuable content for you to go and check out. And if you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.